Hey, what's up, print hustlers? Today we've got an awesome shop tour where we're down in San Antonio with Mike Guevara. We got it right. Over at Ace Screen Graphics. Super pumped for him to be able to show his shop. He's got an awesome story about all the different changes they've gone through and things that they've learned. Let's get it started. All right, Mike.
What's going on?
I'm pumped. We just hit you up on Instagram, so we are here. We're here to hang out. Tell us just a little bit about where you're at here in the building and all that.
All right, cool. Yeah, we're based in San Antonio, Texas. We've been here. This is our first shop we ever opened on half of it. We took over the other half about 5 years ago. But it's about a 5,000 square foot building. We were a 2 auto shop pre-COVID. We're back down to a 1 auto shop running a 10 color press. Me and my wife and 3 employees. So 2004 is be our 17th year of business.
Wow,
so,
congrats.
Thanks,
That's huge. That's huge. Wait, so is the old space open still?
Yeah, well actually the old space it's all production now, and we moved into more office space. So that's kind of how, but when we first moved in 04, it was basically two tenants here, but we just put the building together to make the full shop. Yeah.
So actually you mentioned something that's interesting. Pre-COVID, 2 presses.
Yeah.
Selling or getting rid of the second one. Can you talk about how that happened?
Yeah, so I think it was 2016 we picked up the Fiesta order, which if you're familiar with San Antonio, Fiesta is the giant party we have here for a week, and it's usually about a 35,000 shirt order. So we picked up that contract. It was a 10 color imprint, so we used all 10 heads on our press. There was no room left on the machine. And we were printing that for about a month, so the only way to keep up with our everyday business was to pull in a second automatic. And it happened right after we moved into the building, which we had a second warehouse big enough for a 6 color press. So we went out, got on, what's the website? Digitsmith, found a press in Fort Worth magically. I think it was a godsend. Packed up the truck in a trailer, picked up that 6 color, brought it back the next day, set it up, and we were printing. We used that press for about 3 years, and then we had an offer out of Florida. I guess it was probably January of 2020, right when everything was shutting down for COVID. And the offer was for like $5 grand more than we paid for the press, so we ended up selling it.
Now, did you still have that contract though?
No, yeah, we got that big order, and then the next year we didn't get it back. Yeah, so supposedly it went overseas or over the border, I think.
Got it. So it made sense anyway. I mean, you made some money on that.
Sure.
You made money on the job.
Oh yeah, did really well with it, and then we used it, and then we amped up our shop to about 10 employees at the time, and then we lost that operator, and then after that we kind of used it for overflow work and stuff like that, but it wasn't a real primary part of our everyday business. Yeah.
Got it.
So, but yeah, we sold it and went back to a 1 auto shop, and then we downsized due to COVID, and now we're kind of making a comeback. But kind of we talked about earlier, we're not sure if we're trying to get back to the same size that we were.
Right. That's actually super interesting. Normally I would I would ask you to start showing off the shop, but I want to ask more about going from 10 to 5.
Yeah.
Like, are you more profitable now? Is it just leaner and you want to stay this way? What are your thoughts?
I would say all of the above so far. Yeah, I mean, and it's still early on, right? We got to kind of see where things go, but no, definitely we've been more profitable early on. We're leaner, less communication, less personalities to deal with. I mean, just with dealing with other human beings, sometimes that's not always fun,
Right.
So yeah, kind of all of the above. We're more profitable, we're leaner, less personalities, and just a tighter group, of people to communicate with to get the job done right, I think.
What are the different roles in the 5?
So me and my wife does all the, communication, sales for the business. I'm in charge of production, and then we have our main press operator who's on the press all day. And then we basically have somebody to support him, and then screen room and all that stuff. And then our girl Caitlin, she helps with artwork and screen room and catching. So we kind of all float. So my wife's really the only one who doesn't really go back into production to print.
Yeah. And
then between myself and our 3 production employees, we kind of all share the load of.
Got it. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. All right, let's check out the showroom and everything.
All right, cool, man.
It was interesting when we were first talking, you also talked about speed and one of the reasons why people go with you.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
As far as, I guess, refresh my memory, I'm trying to think of other conversations.
Well, you were saying that like speed was a huge thing where I feel like word of mouth worked well for you guys since you don't advertise actively?
Yeah, so I mean that's something that we do talk about with when people. I guess we were talking about how customer acquisition, how we pick up our customers and stuff, and we were saying that most of our business is word of mouth. I guess just the communication that we get through people that we know with and return customers, it just helps turn things a little bit faster than basically every customer being new off of a Google ad or some type of paid advertisement. A lot of our business is return customers, so it just helps us know the customer, know what they want, and be able to turn the orders a lot faster than having us, basically working with a stranger. I guess it's.
Got it.
I guess that's what I'm feeling is kind of that little how we kind of stumbled into that. Like all that return business was just real easy to work with them. A lot of times if funding wasn't right, if they paid us before on past orders or we knew we could trust them, we'll start processing an order a little bit sooner than we would if somebody that we didn't know.
Got it. Super cool. So showroom.
Yeah.
Really awesome desk, by the way, especially.
Yeah, it's just old screens that we had left over and we built that, and we get lots of compliments about it, man. So that was actually the first squeegee that I bought personally, that I bought back in like 1999, and I used it to a broken half. So I mean the squeegee blade's obviously not original, but it was a place here in San Antonio called Hurwick's, and that was one of the first nice pieces of equipment I bought was a nice squeegee. So I framed it.
Most of the customer base you said is local. Do people still come in more? Are you shipping almost everything out?
Yeah, lots of couriers. I mean, we don't get a whole lot of walk-in traffic, but we courier a lot, and we also do make personal deliveries. We do a decent amount of work for like the brew pubs and stuff like that. So it's a good excuse to go deliver shirts and have a beer with our customers.
For sure. That's awesome.
But as far as the shop goes, man, this is a showroom. So like I said. So this wall here used to be in a whole other business, and then basically we just added the door that you see over there to connect to the production area. But this side of the building was all more office space. I could give you a quick tour. So the showroom, all the kind of samples of our prints, samples of shirts or whatever.
Oh, we got some cool tech, Rackspace.
Yeah, exactly. Rackspace is an old. We still print quite a bit for Rackspace. Lots of tech stuff. So art room. We're still a film-based shop, so we just run all our art through here. We do a little bit of vinyl cutting, so we have a small vinyl cutter, but not much of it. I mean, 99% of our work is screen printing. So that's our art room. We have just a little cool, fun space for our employees, just a little break room, they chill out, coffee machine. This was our old warehouse where we had our second auto, and now it's a Nova storage room. So, but you can see all the wires and hookups over there where we had our 6-color automatic that we ended up selling. So I got into selling some cars last year, so that's what you're seeing here.
Oh, heck yeah. This is cool. I mean, what is this?
This is my car. I've had this car since 2001. It's a 63 Nova. So
does it run?
Oh, yeah, it runs. I haven't ran it in a little while, so. And that's a Nova that I picked up from the person that I was selling a bunch of Novas from. So that's a 64. So I got a 63 and a 64. So, and then just selling a bunch of parts. We had to pivot a little bit, man. I was selling a bunch of parts, a bunch of cars last year. So it turned from a screen shop to a little bit of a, I guess we were flipping cars for a little while. You
still do it, or are you busy?
A little bit. No, we're back printing a lot more. Yeah. So it was for a season, and then we sold a bunch of cars.
How did that go? Just buying cars and selling parts and...
It was good. I mean, a lot of the gearhead guys had money, I guess, during COVID, and people were bored and people were at home, so they were doing a lot of work on their cars.
That's super like cool. That. So, this doesn't connect. I was going to say, what is this?
No, it's a tow dolly that I was using to move cars around. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So, but that's it. This was our old production area. I'll show you the rest of the shop.
Yeah.
Introduce you to my wife. Turn on lights in here for you. So this is my wife, Marisa. She's the brains of the business.
Thank you.
We have like our little. We also got kids, so this is our kids space. Plus, we have Monday meetings in here everywhere. I preach that a lot. Like we communicate with our team every Monday, donuts, tacos, whatever, and just kind of talk about the work week, and that helps things be really efficient as well.
What is getting everybody together? Is it 30 minutes, an hour?
Yeah, it's 11:30 to 12 o'clock before they break for lunch on Monday.
Got it. So right before, and it's talking about all the upcoming work.
Yep, just basically our 5-day schedule from Monday to Friday.
Got it. Is there any other things that you guys cover, like
Yeah, for sure. We all start off the meeting with what we did over the weekend. It's not just work, so it's just I guess team building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just communicating with our employees. So it's usually about 15 minutes about what we did over the weekend, and the other 15 minutes is going over the work schedule, PMS colors that might need to be mixed. If there's like a sim process job or something, you know. Most of the work's basic, but if there is something special we have to do, then that's kind of what we talk about on a Monday. You know.
Got it. So. You said you moved to a 4-day work week, which I've heard a lot of other shops have been doing too.
Yeah, 4-day work week. And through COVID, obviously through COVID, it was a 2 to 3 day work week, and now with the work coming back, we were going to go to 5. We have one of our employees, he commutes, so it's helped him, and then it's just been really good for morale for people to have a 3-day work week. You know, or I mean a 3-day weekend. You know. So we're trying to stick through that Monday through Thursday. I can't say but probably 90% of the time we're on a 4-day work week and a 3-day weekend. But you know, we get hit pretty heavy. We will come in on Friday still.
Got it. So it gives you some room for overflow too.
Yeah, exactly. And but the goal is not to get back to a 5-day work week. We're trying to stick with that 4-day work week. It's just I mean, people's attitudes, including ourselves, has been way better.
You're just a lot more refreshed.
Sure.
And it's 8 hours or 10.
Yeah, I would say 8 to 10 hours. Okay. Yeah. So if we get to Thursday and we still got 2 jobs left on the board, instead of coming in on Friday for 2 jobs, we'll stay till 7 or 8 o'clock on Thursday to.
Got it. Just to bang it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Save time on people coming in.
Saves them their commute. Saves them, you know, they get to stay out on Thursday and wake up late or do whatever they do. So, but yeah, I think that 3-day weekend's been huge for us. So
that's
been
cool.
Good. And then also it's shown up in our CPS bills and our water bills and everything.
It's all come down.
It's all come down. Yeah, exactly. Without firing up that dryer, you know, leaving that dryer and all the flashes off for a whole day, it's showing up in our overhead. You know.
Got it. So, that's cool.
But yeah, let me show you the shop, man.
You mentioned things starting to come back too. Do you feel like you're 100% back, 90 from COVID, or?
I would say like 80%. I don't even know if we're quite to 90 or 100, but we're probably at 80%.
Oh, we got Mr. Nick Martin showed up.
What's up, guys?
From Printavo.
So yeah, we run the 10-color workhorse saber. We run an M&R gas dryer. They're smaller heatwave, which has been a great dryer, by the way. At first we weren't sure if it was going to do well for water-based work. We do a decent amount of water-based work, but it's been a champ for anything we've thrown at it. We still run a manual press, so we run a 4-color manual press, 10-color auto, and then we do foil work, and then we just brought in the tag printer last year. Just when we got rid of the 6-color auto, we wanted to have another source of way to bill out a little bit more money, so we started doing custom tag printing.
How do you usually price on tags?
Get on other people's websites and see what they're pricing and just try to be competitive. To be honest, we weren't even sure how to price it or whatever, so we just had to snoop around and see what people were charging, and we just landed somewhere in that same area. So I think it's usually, I mean, it obviously depends on quantity, but usually it's a run of 144, and it's usually adding about $1 to $2 per shirt.
Got it.
So and it's just all we offer is a 1-color tag as well.
Do you do other finishing too, like bagging or?
We don't. No, we've not. No, not really. I mean, just with y'all's Printavo stores, the only thing we've really changed is offer individual shipping, like to classes. One of our tech schools, you know, whenever they're having a graduation, especially during COVID, they couldn't have a get-together, so we'd have to ship all the shirts individually. But that's the only thing kind of out of the norm that we did.
Got it.
Was ship individual shirts to our customers. But as far as polybagging, tagging, we've never had any of that go through here. So the only thing is just the custom tagging, and that's about it. Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
So a lot of tech-focused business, schools too?
A lot of schools, tech-focused business. Yeah, schools, like we're getting into the summer where all the PE and I guess athletics programs start amping up. So that's what you're seeing over there, a bunch of shorts and stuff. Yeah, a lot of schools, a lot of tech, and then just a lot of small businesses. But yeah, so this, now I guess back to the shop, this up to that wall was our whole shop. And we did knock down one of the offices that we had put just to have some more receiving area. And then these are our old offices here. It is now our ink room and then our screen room as well. So it just places to store all of our pigments, all of our water-based ink. Has been nice to not have it out in the heat. So our production area, just watch your back, I don't want you to get ink on you. I'm sure you get ink on you all the time, right? And being in shops. But yeah, just have a place to store all this stuff to not just be in the heat. Our production area is not air conditioned, but it's temperature and humidity controlled in here.
Got it. You know, I noticed you have security cameras more, and the production floor here, is that just for when customers come, or just?
Yeah, it's helped with that. I mean, sometimes it'll get louder. You know, our people, you know, for longer runs, they'll have headphones on, so a lot of times they could just look up. Like I'll have a security camera here, and there's another video outside. And it's just honestly for efficiency. Like when they see us walk in the front, they know it's us, and they don't have to be getting on the press and checking that it's us. And I don't know,
gotcha.
help them to stop production, you know. So, ink room, and then this used to be the entrance to our shop here, and now it's our screen room. So we just kind of boarded that up.
And do you keep films?
Yes, we do store films. Like I said, we're a film-based shop. Well, not all films. Like this is all stuff down here that's kind of what we feel should be like a one and done, you know, like runs or a graduation or a picnic, I don't know. And then this is stuff that's more stuff I guess we'd imagine. But even I would say it's probably 40% of this we end up at the end of the year pulling out and then just tossing it. So yeah, that's about it. That's kind of how the shop is set up, man. I'm trying to think of what else to show you. Yeah. So we shoot screens in here, right? We run the LED, the workhorse as well. Their Lumitron's been a great unit. A lot of people were saying it wasn't going to hold great detail, but we still run, you know, 65 LPI on our sim process work, and it holds really good detail. But so the light in here, we didn't go with red lights. We just went with UV. We just put those little UV coated bulbs that absorb the UV from it to keep it from being like a red room or whatever. It was messing with my eyes too much. But I guess I'm going into this because you tell a lot of people like to know why we're set up like this. So we'll shoot the screens, and then this is our old dip tank, and then we'll dunk them just in water just to stop the exposing process. And then once you walk out of the room, you're back into a UV environment. So, but once we dunk the screens here, walk them to our washout tank, they're not going to lose any of their. I guess they're not going to continue to be exposed once you walk out of here.
Got it.
When we were kind of remodeling the shop and redesigning it, we were trying to figure out how to get this closer to the back, and it just didn't work out. So just a quick dunk tank.
Got it, with the space over here. So you bring it over there. And
exactly.
Okay.
But the one, and it's helped. A lot of people had that issue. That's why I bring it up. If you just dunk your screen in water and walk out into a UV area, it stops that exposure process, and you don't have to have your screen room right next to your tank. So I don't know, some information for your people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But that's it, man. That's our shop. That's how we're set up.
And then the screens. Oh, but you got inks over there too.
Yeah, so yeah, some of our inks are stored in here. I mean, that's just we needed more room for PMS colors. You know how that goes. It starts getting out of control after a while.
Sure.
So yeah, so I'm moving to walk around the press. We love the flashbacks here. We run 3 of them on this press, plus 1 quartz that's not on the press right now. But yeah, like you were asking about, so all of our pallets, we just keep in this area, the youth pallets, sleeve pallets, our oversized pallets. So these are like all of our stock plastisol colors we'll keep out here. The stuff that you saw in there was more pigments and water-based stuff that's going to be a little bit more, the stuff that's going to sit longer that we don't want sitting out in the heat forever, you know what I mean? So, but this stuff we're popping these lids every day, you know what I mean? So it's not, to us it's not that important that they stay in the air conditioning area, you know? So, we do a little bit of, manual printing, we still use it obviously for sleeve prints and stuff like that. We do some paper printing, but not a whole lot, so let the drying rack is for.
That's cool. You know, I found something you said interesting earlier about being more profitable now, having leaned down, when a lot of thoughts are, you know, grow top line, but not as much thinking about the profitability of the business. Is that partially because, like, did a lot of your local market get changed, or do you feel like a lot more work came to you, or you know, what was all the shift? And because some shops will also read profit first, right? And they're like, this is motivation, but it sounds like COVID forced it.
Sure, yeah, and I'm a huge like a fan of the profit first idea and system, that we kind of try to play by some of those ideas as well as a shop. And just with our finances and stuff, but yeah, I think COVID just helped, I don't know what you call it, man, like kinds of like shops, and just kind of thinned out the herd, you know, to where I feel that the shops were kind of fly-by-night, maybe part-time shops that, I don't know, I guess it's really full-time shops that were really vested into their trade or whatever. They just kind of disappeared. So I felt like pre-COVID everything was getting quoted out. If it was a 1,000-piece order, I mean, especially here in San Antonio, you had to be down to $3.95, $4 a shirt to even consider getting that order. And now orders are coming through, and it's not so much quoting, it's just when can we get them done. And that's been an eye-opener. We haven't seen business like that happen for probably 10 years, where it's just like you're not just getting chopped at the knees for the cheap. And there's 30 different shops that are going for that same quote. Now it's like, here, this is what we need. Can you get it done by this date? And what's your price? And then we send them the price, and we get a down payment.
Got it.
Quick. So, and it's not that we didn't do anything to like make that happen. It's just that was just been an eye-opening post-COVID thing that happened. Is just there's just not as I don't know if you call it the competition. There's just not as much quoting happening. It's just more like, here's the job we need, and when can you get it done, and get it done. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's been cool. Yeah.
What do you think what's the plan for the rest of the year? How are you pointing the business?
Just stay kind of lean. We probably need to get one more person to help with order processing. I mean, I think in production, me having 3 plus me floating and helping when we need the help. Really, it's we talked about that a little bit. The main work I feel at the shop happens from the first email to getting a down payment. Getting that order into production. That's where the headaches and the jams and the bottlenecks happen, is basically with what my wife does, is processing the orders, getting artwork out, the proofs, down payments. So she needs help with that. But on the back end, I think we'll stay the same with me and the 3 production people. But I think for our shop personally, I think we might get a part-time assistant to help her with processing.
Got it.
And then just keep running the way we're doing and keep having fun.
Yeah, no, that's smart. I mean, we definitely hear a lot of people talk about getting an assistant and probably even doing it too late because they're like, okay, I'm overly slammed.
Sure, yeah.
But just for what your wife could focus on time-wise versus doing everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Any things that you feel like you would do earlier with the business? Since COVID shifted everything, you've kind of got this newer direction. Is there something you would have done maybe 5 years ago?
I guess I think we've only been with you guys for 3 years, so I think we waited a long time to get into a cloud-based software. We tried other ones too, so it's not just because you're filming me now right now. Yeah. We really feel that Printavo is the best one, so we had a few other shops pushing us on it, and I think we should have got on 5 years ago, not 3 years ago. Yeah. It was really life-changing for our shop to be cloud-based and just to have everything on our phones or on our tablets, and not just for us, for our employees as well. So other than just basically getting our processing cloud-based, not a whole lot. I mean, we went from a 6 color to an 8 color to a 10 color, and I'm glad we did. I would say we should have went straight from a 6 to a 10 and skipped over that 8 color. As many heads as you could fit in your shop, I'd say you'll never regret. If you could fit a 12 color machine in your shop and you're like, let's settle for the 8 to save $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000, whatever that might be. I guess that would be a thing. Like, we had a 6 color javelin in here that we started with, and then we went to an 8 color. We should have went straight from the 6 to the 10 because it fit. So that's one of the things we regret. The second auto was only because of that giant order. We never really pushed real hard to be a 2 auto shop. It just without that second auto, we wouldn't have made it through that month and a half of that 35,000 shirt run. And that's not even that, that's a lot of shirts, but it was a 10 color imprint that was running pretty slow that it took that long. So we didn't want to tell our everyday customers that were keeping us in business, like, we can't print for you for a month because we have one order that's super juicy right now.
Right.
We'll get to you later. So that was a great move for us, to buy that press and then sell it when we got the right money for it.
Did you post it online, or somebody just... it was
a friend of a friend. It was actually, we talked about Rob at Old Boy Print Shop. It was a friend of his. He just told me, hey, I got a buddy that's looking for an auto in Florida. Are you still looking to sell that 6 color? Me and him talk shop a lot, and I had told him that I was thinking about selling the 6 color because it was just a paperweight, because we just weren't sure what was going to happen with COVID and finances and stuff. So kind of kept playing with the idea, and then he's like, hey dude, my buddy's ready to pull the trigger, like, you want to sell? And I put you in contact and say, yeah, let's do it. So that's kind of how that happened. Okay. So we never posted it or anything like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Oh, you know what? We didn't see the front area where everything gets dropped off.
Yeah, it's a shipping area. I think this is all stuff that's landing right now, but this is basically our general receiving area here and over here.
These are cool. So you guys put printed all these stickers, and this is how you mark
Yeah,
them?
exactly. So we have 2 of them. Like for our personal, we're probably like 70% retail work, and then we do some contract work. So the red labels with our logo, obviously, with our customers, and the white generic labels here are for contract customers.
Got it. And this is like the red.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you actually mark the sizes in that?
Yeah, we'll get in there and do that. These are backpacks, so there wasn't any sizes, you know what I mean?
Got it.
So
looks nice too.
Yeah, and then it really helps for even for our contractors, when their customers get the stuff, they'll know what's in there, you know, whether it's shorts or shirts or whatever. It just keeps people from having to just start throwing stuff everywhere and know what's in their boxes. You know?
Right. Did you guys ever do embroidery here or signage or anything else?
We did, yeah, we did. So actually, this was an office that kind of came all the way out to here, and we had embroidery and sign making equipment.
What happened to that?
We weren't good at it. We're much
You're
better
not the first one.
We're much better at screen printing, and you know, a lot of people talk about how embroidery and screen printing go hand in hand. That's a lie. We hated it. We just. Yeah.
Was it just hard to find somebody to staff it that knew they were doing, or was it just?
Yeah, I mean, that was early on. I think that we've been in. This will be our 17th year of business, so I'm trying to think. That was probably like year 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, we were a young business, and that was in 2009 when the economy kind of tanked. You know, I think we got our embroidery machine in 08, and then it tanked in 9, and then so it could have just been bad timing too. But it just. You know, I think the one-stop shop sounds real good in theory, but it's just like you're pulled in so many different directions. And we experienced that. We had a plotter, we had a digital printing machine, and the embroidery machines. And we were always good at screen printing, and we stopped being good at like we were mediocre at everything. So we got rid of that stuff and just kept concentrating on being the best screen printers we could be. So.
You've really then, over time, like downsized, but you talk about the profitability growing. Which
Sure. Oh, 100%.
I just think it's really awesome to hear that.
Yeah.
In such a different perspective from everything else.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, those were bad years. Like when we were offering everything, like we were handling a lot of money and not making very much money. So,
how did you know that, or when did that come? Was it year end and your accountant's like, here's where you're at, or was it just month to month and your take home?
Honestly, I think it was month to month. Like we saw it really quick. We were like, God dang, like we're depositing a lot of money, and then just at the end of the month, there's just nothing left, you know. And it was just the personnel, the operators. So we've just really been kind of narrowing down what we're good at and getting rid of all the stuff that was slowing us down and not making us very good, you know? Yeah. So, and then, I don't know if it should be surprising, but then we saw, as we did that, we just kept getting more and more profitable.
Got it.
Yeah, so, and I think in the Profit One book, the guy talks about that a lot, you know, about being a specialist in what you do. You know, I think there's a chapter in there where he talks about, like, yeah, you can go to like a general practitioner. I think he was talking about the medical field, where he says you can go to a clinic and you'll charge somebody $100 to see a person. Like, I think it's whatever, your hip is bad. Mm-hmm. But then when you go to the specialist, he's going to charge you $1,000 to tell you exactly what's wrong with a certain part of your body or whatever. But that's the difference between being a specialist and just being like an overall, like, hey, we do a little bit of everything, but I guess here we just decided to be good at screen printing, dude. So, and I think we're pretty good. Like, you can see samples of our work, and we get complimented a lot. We turn out some really good work here.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
thanks for sharing, Mike.
Yeah.
We're at Ace Screen Graphics. You guys can follow them over on Instagram at
Ace Screen Graphics. I guess, I don't know what it is.
Ace Screen Graphics. It'll pop up. You guys can
ASG,
ASG. You guys can sign up. You guys can be able to follow them, shoot them a message if you have any questions. Check them out. Thank you so much for being able to spend some time with us today. We had an awesome time. See you guys in the next shop tour.
See ya.
Hold on, we gotta pause this video for one quick second. Mike actually showed me something that I would need to showcase here. Whenever somebody solves their own solution in their shop, we've gotta talk about it. This is a really neat product on your pre-registration process, a lot more of an affordable product before you get into the tri-locks and the pallets and all that stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna let Mike talk about this. Hold on.
All right. Cool, so this is a product we developed in-house, and it's a simple screen printing template. It'll work on any press. It's called RapidReg. It's template that was developed for training purposes, and I introduced it to some friends, and they're basically like, dude, how are you not selling that? So then we took it to market about 2 years ago. It's in about 220 shops around the world, from Australia to Canada to Denmark to Argentina, and then tons of them here in the States, California, Florida. Basically, I think it's in most states. And it's just a really useful, affordable tool that helps people set up jobs at press, 1 to 10 colors in minutes, in literal minutes. So my guys are going to show you how it works. Check it out. Caleb, you want to do it?
And so are you taping off the registration marks before you go to press?
Yes, yes.
So you're not printing a shirt at all, you're registering it off this pallet.
Yeah, so we're a big fan of the split tape here. Huge fan of the split tape. It's just our shop's all about efficiency, so split tape on the front, and then we just use 2 tick marks here at our shop, just the centered, and then we use 3-inch clear tape to tape the back of the screen. And our theory with that, or our mindset behind that, is basically, so if you kind of look in the light, the only place we have to be careful for breakouts, pinholes, is literally in the visual area that the operator is looking at the shirt. So you're never going to have a breakout way up here on top of the screen that you don't figure out till 300 shirts later. So the clear tape always overlaps the front tape, and it kind of boxes it out. So we use quite a bit of tape here at the shop, but you'll never find us at the back of the dryer spraying out 600 shirts because we missed a pinhole. So, and then it's clear, so it allows us to kind of use our RapidReg a little bit more efficiently. So I think they're ready to go. That's our setup on the taping of the screen. Hold on real quick, let me just, so it'll work on any press. Manual, auto, just tape it to the top of your press, make sure that you're centered, and then from there, you just basically, I'm sorry, let me show you one more thing. Choose a number. I think usually here at our shop we land at number 4, but there's 5 just so that way you have some flexibility. And then I'll let Caleb kind of take it over. A 4-color print job, and then we'll kind of check it out real quick how quickly he can set it up. And on the other side, you'll kind of see what he's doing here. So he's just getting in there.
Start the clock.
Okay, start the clock, yeah. So he's here on number 4, and if you zoom in a little bit tighter here, you can see how he's basically centering that reg mark on the top. And then the bottom reg mark just needs to be centered as well, but there's no number to hit there, it just needs to be centered. And all he does is repeat that, whether it's a 2-color job or a 10-color job. So, where are we at? Yeah, you start the clock, 3:01, 3 o'clock?
3:01.
Okay. I think we're doing a 4-color setup right now. Micros.
So while this is getting set up too, where can people find it? You make them right here.
Make them in-house, yeah, and I have a website, rapidreg.net. So and I have an Instagram for that as well.
We'll tag a link down in the description so everybody can be able to check it out. Do they have to send over measurements? Or?
No, it's an auto size pallet. So I sell a full set, or then I sell them individually, but the one I sell most is a full set. And that's an auto size pallet, a sleeve pallet, and then a youth pallet. And the other one that I sell a lot of is just a 3-pack of the auto size pallet. So, but yeah, it's all on the website. So, but super efficient, super easy to use. It's kind of like the more time you take on it, the more you square up those dots, it'll be perfect, but it's just like even the other super expensive products on the market, you'll never be out of micro from printing. So we'll see at the end of this one how close they are. But again, the more time you take centering your reg marks onto the template, it'll be, a lot of times we start a, whatever 4 or 5 color job, not touch the micros, but you'll never be so far out that you have to move or clean the whole screen. You're always gonna be within a micro. But I'd say, I don't know, 60–70% of the time we're starting the job without touching a micro.
So you're talking about you had a 10-color setup before. How long did that take you before and after?
10-color setup, I mean, we've done them as quick as 15 to 18 minutes. Squeegee's loaded and off and running. So I think registering the screens themselves is as fast as you can table up and center that screen. I think registering screens we were done within 10 minutes. We usually average, like when we start timing it, it's usually about 30 to 45 seconds per screen. So, you figure 45 seconds on 10 screens, you're still under 10 minutes. But by the time you load squeegees and kind of dial it in, I mean, we're printing within 20 minutes. So, kind of sounds unbelievable, Our technician, one of our workhorse technicians, when we set up this press, I told him we were setting up a 10-color job, and he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go to lunch. Go ahead. I'm gonna go to lunch and I'll be back. What do you think, about an hour and a half? I was like, no, dude, we'll be printing in about 15, 20 minutes. He was like, garbage. There ain't no way you're setting up a 10-color job and printing. And sure enough, he waited 15 minutes and we were testing the press when he was setting it up in about 15 minutes. So
all right, we got ink going in. This is the moment of truth.
So we're at what, 4 minutes? 3 minutes? 4 minutes? You got the, as I say, just make sure when you're done registering, you get it off the press, because you run it under a flasher, it's gonna melt. So I like selling them, but I don't like people ruining their RapidReg. What's cool is that we just picked up this double squeegee. Well, I say just picked up, but we've probably been using it for about a year and a half now. But it's just allowed us to run our underbases through a 225S mesh. We're also a big fan of the Murakami S mesh, the 225S. High detail, soft hand, one stroke through a 225S has really helped us out. But I just wanted to plug the Action Engineering double squeegee and the Murakami 225S for underbasing, high detail prints with one stroke and then be done with it. So it's a great product.
Well, that's awesome. Shouts out to Action Engineering. We'll drop a link below as usual.
Close? Pretty close. Within micro? Oh yeah, definitely. So.
Boom.
That's it. So I lied to you, man. We've spent about 9 minutes on it.
Right. Wait. So, time check.
Yeah. I think we're
people can say we edited this.
301. We're at 310. So we started at 301. 4-color setup. Locked in, registered, loaded screens, loaded ink in about 9 minutes.
There we go.
So while we were talking about other stuff.
All right, you guys can find a link down to RapidReg in the description below. That's Mike's awesome invention. Check him out. Be able to shoot him a message on Instagram.